Welcome to SVG-TV News for Tuesday, April 4th, 2017. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. Responding to criticisms over a recent statement made that the government is not legally obligated to provide internship for medical graduates, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves on radio on Sunday said he felt it necessary to clear up some misconceptions on the issue. He explained that his government budgeted in 2016 17 positions for medical interns, and this year it increased to 22. The Prime Minister said his administration, despite what is being said, continually work to accommodate medical graduates even in challenging times.
There is a limit given the number of beds you have in the system. The professionals in the ministry have said that the maximum number of interns you should have, medical interns, should be 26. You shouldn't exceed 26.
Okay.
All right?
Yes.
Now, you may say, well, you've had 17 on the books. What is the story then? I know you're having 22. Why you don't ramp them up to 26? The point is this: they are ramped up to 26 because we take on persons through the set program.
The Prime Minister indicated that the nation is now facing an influx of trained medical doctors as a result of the education revolution, and urged some of these graduates to consider pursuing specialized areas.
One of the things which we have to do is to make certain that these doctors indicate that they're going to go and focus on postgraduate medical training in a number of areas which we need. For instance, psychiatry, radiology, family medicine, with a subspecialization in surgery, like for instance, air, nose and throat, orthopedics, that's to say dealing with your bones.
Right.
Neurosurgery, you know, the question of brain surgery, and internal medicine with subspecializations in areas like cardiology, that's dealing with your heart, endocrinology, oncology, as cancer, emergency medicine, the gerontology, dealing with the age, and anesthesiology, you know, and we need anestheticians. So that not just a general doctor, because you have to come back and do your internship, but we have to make sure the scholarships which we are requesting is to go into many of these specialties and subspecialties.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister appealed to persons who are interested in scholarships to consider aligned medical professions, as the health sector is in high demand for such.
A laboratory technologists, radiographers, physiotherapists, biomedical technologists, and pharmacists. So that there are areas in which we are oversupplied. This is not to put any damper on anybody who wants to go and do general medicine.
Right.
And just be a general practitioner. But to ask persons to address the question of particular specializations, either at the level before you reach postgraduate, like some of these subjects which I just mentioned now.
Right.
And also postgraduate. I mean, we have a shortage of radiologists. We don't have any psychiatrist. We've been trying to get, as you know, and we had to get somebody, a consultant, in a sense, part-time, to come in from Barbados, because we had to address a number of things, not only from a medical standpoint, but from a legal standpoint. Okay. Persons who have to be assessed by the court.
PM Gonzalez further encouraged persons who choose to criticize to do their research in an effort to compare the waiting period for persons to receive placement in other Caribbean countries to that of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Dr. Gonzalez also noted that while the local health sector has an abundance of resources, it suffers from poor management. In other news, within the next 2 weeks or so, persons will be able to know the cost of direct chartered flights from Canada and the United States to this country for the Carnival season. This assurance comes from Chief Executive Officer of the Tourism Authority, Glenn Beach, as he spoke at a town hall meeting in Toronto last weekend to persons in the diaspora. Beach, however, expressed hope to get direct flights from the UK soon, but noted that the government has been trying to ensure that they get the best possible rates for Vincentians.
With the charters, you will have a charter from Toronto into St. Vincent and the Grenadines for Carnival. You will probably announce it within the next week and a half to 2 weeks, right? And listening to Natural Events, I was reading the comments, one person said, well, next time don't take that long to announce charters, or don't take this long to announce charters. I agree. But we're looking out for your interests. The quotations we've been receiving, if we were to take them, the price that we will be quoting is 1,300 Canadian return to St. Vincent and the Grenadines for 2 weeks. Those are the fares that we would be quoting. And we don't. I don't think it's fair to come to Vincentians to say $1,300, even though it's direct. When you look at the market and what the market is asking for now, it is a difference of between $500 and $600.
The Tourism Authority CEO, however, admitted that airlines have expressed serious concerns with the room capacity of hotels in the country, which only stands at 2,200.
The airlines couldn't give one flying fish about St. Vincent. If they are not making money, they are not coming into St. Vincent. It's as simple as that. And the diaspora plays a role in that. Because in our negotiations, it's not only about the leisure visitors, it is about the diaspora returning home. If you get those direct flights, will you return home more often? We have said that, don't worry. We have the statistics and we presented them with the statistics and that sort of thing. So you play an important role, but then they also have to do their forecasts. Is this viable? But what makes it more difficult is that internationally, St. Vincent and the Grenadines is a new destination. We have never had direct flights before Argyle opened up. So what figures do you go off of? You can go off of what we have coming through Trinidad, what we have coming through Barbados. But just like you, a lot of people don't come because it's a hassle.
Beach pointed out that this government will be seeking to build hotels in the country similar to the Hilton in Trinidad and the Marriott in Barbados, where they are operated by persons in the private sector.
Our aim is to at least get that up to between 3,500 and 4,000 rooms. If we can do that, it makes it a lot easier for us to attract the airlines. But on top of that, the government has taken a decision to construct its own hotel to have at least 250 rooms. Now that's going to take some research. A committee has been formed, headed by Minister Gonzalez, Minister Canada Gonzalez, and they're looking at that. Now I've heard the report, well, why is government wasting taxpayers' money? Let me tell you this is not a new phenomenon. Those of you who have been to Trinidad Hilton, their Marriott, and their Hyatt are all owned by the Trinidadian government, and then it's put out for management by one of the international brands.
Describing the rock gutter tragedy as an unfortunate incident, lawyer Israel Bruce said that he is pleased that the court has dismissed charges of manslaughter against his client, 37-year-old Donovan Nanton, who was the driver of the vehicle on that fateful morning in January 2015. Bruce, who was speaking in a telephone interview with SVG-TV News earlier today, said he, along with his colleague Grant Connell, who represented Ehud Myers, the 68-year-old trustee of the minivan, were pleased with Magistrate Ratians Brown's decision to dismiss 7 counts of involuntary manslaughter on Friday, March 31st at the Serious Offences Court.
Of course, the evidence did not show that they failed to do something which they were to have done and did not do. Essentially, what we heard from Nanton first of all, via his electronic interview, is that on mornings he would normally check the brakes, check the oil, which he did on that morning, and everything was in good working order. They picked up the students, they started to drive, they got to their last stop, and when they got to their last stop to pick up students, the van was now full. They passed the Myers and Davanan and everybody. They entered into prayer and asked God for saving mercies, and they were driving. I think it was okay until they got to that unfortunate fatal spot at Rock Gutter, at which point, as the van was going downhill, it picked up speed, and he tried his best to avoid the van colliding. That was not to be, and unfortunately the van did collide with a lamppost and plunged into the waters at Rock Gutter Fancy, and unfortunately we had 7 lovely Vincentian lives been lost in that tragic accident.
Bruce, however, expressed sympathy to the parents and other loved ones affected by the incident and noted that both Nanton and Myers were apologetic. He called on persons to extend forgiveness to both men who have also been affected by the incident.
They're sorry for the loss. They sympathize with the families. They wish for the family to understand that they didn't do anything wrong. They didn't fail to do that which they were supposed to do. And it wasn't because of any negligence on the part of either Nanton or Myers that this tragic accident took place. So we asked the people of Fancy, the families, the parents, mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, not to hold Nanton and Myers in your heart, in your mind, because they really did not do anything. The court, in its deliberate judgment, in its careful analysis of the evidence before the court, was satisfied that they did all that they could have done to guarantee the safety of the children. And for those parents who find it already fitting to forgive, I say to you, keep that forgiving spirit. For those of you who still find it hard to forgive them, I ask you to find that forgiveness in your heart, because these men didn't do anything negligent or anything criminal.
And the parents of the students who died in the Rock Gutter accident had mixed sentiments on the verdict delivered last Friday. 2 of the parents we spoke to via the telephone on the matter had varying views. However, they both said they are finding support from God and other parents.
Not fully settled. I'm still wanting to know exactly how Glendon died. I'm the mother of Glenroy Michael, and the verdict, in my opinion, from what I read, the magistrate was fair with her ruling, because, as she said, there wasn't enough evidence to substantiate her charge. And I am very disappointed that none of the parents of the deceased children were allowed in the courtroom at the time of the magistrates delivering her verdict. The accused, they had people inside, but none of the parents of the deceased were allowed because they said there were not enough seats.
I felt very disappointed, and I started to breathe all over again from the verdict on Friday. I don't think justice was served. I don't think justice was done in that case, because I mean, we lost 7 of our children, and the men responsible, they were just set free, no consequences.
Aiming to reach, teach, equip, and release men into kingdom purpose here in SVG, as well as on the regional and international stage. Project Men 2020, in collaboration with the World Needs a Father movement, earlier today held an official launch of their annual conference under the theme Fatherhood 2017. The two-day event is slated for Thursday, April 6th and Saturday, April 8th at the French's House, and will feature presentations from Project Men 2020 and the TWNAF representatives, and a panel discussions on issues which affect men, in particular fathers and sons, as well as mentors, and how these issues can be addressed. There will also be a forum for the sharing of experiences where persons can present their testimonies. Nikita Tony has more on the upcoming activities in this report.
On providing a movement based on relationships rather than activity that empowers men to be the spiritual individuals as God intended them to be, Project Men 2020, in partnership with the World Needs a Father movement, TWNAF, launched the 4th edition of their annual national conference under the theme Fatherhood 2017 earlier today, Tuesday, April 4th. Cognizant of the fact that today's society is plagued by the major issue of fatherlessness, representative of Project Men 2020 and coordinator of the conference, Conroy Huggins, stated that this year's event will feature a seminar on Thursday, April 6th, which will focus on an overview of the TWNAF's Master Mentor Manual, with the main event or national conference on Saturday, April 8th, with presentations from Reverend Dr. Cecil Richards on the socio-economic and spiritual responsibilities of fathers, along with a panel discussion. Huggins added that his organization continues to create a positive impact within the Vincentian society, as they aim to challenge men to see their lives as God intended it to be.
Violent crime, drug and alcohol abuse, teen pregnancy, suicide, all correlate more strongly to fatherlessness than any other single factor. We look at what we are called to do as something that can put a dent in the present situation, especially with the emerging generation. How they realize that in their own lives they have failed their own children. So we are looking forward to sharing with our nation reports, testimonies, ways in which brothers have been impacted over the last 4 years of what we have been doing.
Assistant Coordinator Alex Altidore, while outlining the proceedings of Thursday's seminar, encouraged all men to participate in what he described to be a life-changing event.
Come out to this Thursday session and learn about fatherhood and receive what we have to offer. And we trust after you receive this overview of what we have in this module that you would be stirred up, your hunger would become alive, and you would desire to have this traded.
Pointing out that fatherhood is an expansive issue, speaker at Saturday's national conference, Reverend Dr. Cecil Richards, said he hopes to go beyond the biological element of fatherhood.
Before we get to the New Testament, is this whole understanding, okay, what does what God want to resonate for 400 years? I'm calling the fathers, the heart of the fathers back. Expand the whole concept of fatherhood in a way that men can understand the heroic role that we have to play. It's not something that we should be running away from. In fact, this should be something that we are embracing.
Highlighting his passion for the proceedings of the two-day event, PRO of Project Men 2020, Negus Bino, stressed the importance of addressing the issue of fatherlessness.
This situation has become somewhat of an emergency, and Project Men 2020 are hoping to begin this process of healing for men. So please, on Thursday the 6th, on Saturday the 8th at French's House, come out and begin your healing.
Both sessions will take place at the French's House starting at 9 a.m. daily. The entire Vincentian public is being urged to come out, support, and most importantly, share their experiences at the two-day event. Nikita Tony reporting for SVG-TV News.
With a stroke of a pen, the dream of one local performing artist became a reality earlier today. Local rapper Akeem Keezer, known as Prez, is now officially signed to Tarragon Records after today's signing ceremony at the Grenadines House. Tarragon Records is a record label owned by Vincentian and international soca artist Kevin Little and his wife, Dr. Jacqueline James Little. Keezer thanked all those who supported him and his endeavors and said the opportunity being given to him is a dream come true and promised to give of his best.
The music, of course, will be the same because it's me, it's my story. You know what I mean? It just means that you'll hear it on a lot more platforms, and of course it'll just be a lot more personal because, I mean, this is a dream come true for me. I put out a mixtape some years ago called Dreams Come True, and I never foresaw this opportunity. In fact, for a while I doubted it could happen. People told me, you know what, just give up on this rap thing and do soca. I'm talking about even in personal relationships, you know what I mean? And the worst part about it is that I believed it for a while, you know what I mean? So the music really and truly is about to get even better. I told someone the other day, the way I've been writing, it was 40% of my talent. I haven't even been writing to my best ability because I had so much other stuff going on in my mind. So now that I have a clear conscience and I know where I'm going, you're going to see a whole different level of Prez.
CEO of Tarragon Records, Dr. Jacqueline James Little, expressed confidence in the talent and ability of Prez, noting that his style has an air of freshness, adding that he has the potential to have an impact worldwide, much in the same way as Kevin Little did when he revolutionized soca music. Dr. Little added that Tarragon has been working with local artists to boost their capacity and give them a competitive edge in the music business.
We know that obviously the ones who have invested the time and energy into their careers to a point where they are where Prez is right now would be the ones that we're extending a hand to come onto the label. But where the others are concerned, I've actually started several conversations. We need education. My company isn't just a label. As a matter of fact, the minute an artist is signed with us, we invite them up to a camp that we have. We educate our artists. What is the music business? What is publishing? What is distribution? What does it all mean? What contracts you should and shouldn't sign? How much % of what you should be expecting? The 32 means of making money in the music industry. We teach them. And so I think it begins with that. We're hoping to have some programs started where all of them can learn the music business, and then eventually when they've taken themselves to that level that we think we can now bring them over to the other side, that we will keep extending that same hand to them.
Also speaking at today's signing ceremony was Vincentian-born international soca artist Kevin Little, who used the example of his career to encourage local artists to believe in their talent and ability in order to reap the rewards of success.
Believing that what you want, you can get it is one of the most important things. You know, belief in self and belief that you can is, you know, that is half the battle. You know, because then after that, the universe starts sending the things in your path that you need to make things happen. It's up to you to capitalize on them. Because, you know, I mean, when I started, I was with Black Sand, I was with Signal, you know, I was dancing, I was acting, I was doing everything within my power to get myself seen and heard and experienced in the entertainment industry. And that is what got me on the path that made me successful. So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, to everyone out there who may be seeing this, you know, especially the young artists trying to make it, yo, you just gotta believe you can. Put yourself in the position to make the things happen that you want.
In other news, Chairman of the Gospel Fest Committee, Fidel Taylor, is urging persons to encourage and support those who participate in the festival, more so persons who are trying to develop themselves through the gospel arena. Delivering remarks at the launch of the 2017 festival on Sunday evening, April 2nd, Taylor, while expressing gratitude to all sponsors and participants, appealed for more support for such events.
As we celebrate our 15th anniversary, let me congratulate all our sponsors, all our pastors, all of our leaders, our trainers, all the artists who have been performing over the years and those who will perform tonight. I ask that you would continue to lift them up in your prayers, encourage them. I encourage parents to also invest in your children, invest in sending them to learn to play music, sending them to learn to play an instrument, sending them to learn to do voice training. Invest in your children, because when you do that, you're investing in their development in a positive way.
Vita Malt drinkers here will be given the opportunity to win a number of prizes, inclusive of a trip to St. Lucia, as the St. Vincent Brewery Limited launched its Vita Live promotion. Speaking at the launch of the promotion earlier today, marketing coordinator at the St. Vincent Brewery Limited, Kelvin Franklin, said this was the first promotion for the year, which is consumer-oriented. Franklin explained the prizes persons can expect to win as part of the promotion.
There are several exciting and practical prizes to be won from simply purchasing Vita Malt. Look under the crown to win your prize. The prizes are as follows: free Vita Malt, free Samsung phones, iPad, gas vouchers of $50 and $100, and we also have a Vita Malt trip for two to St. Lucia, weekend trip for two to St. Lucia. Now this element of the promotion, you have to enter 5 crowns into an envelope and drop it in one of our several boxes nationwide to win this particular prize. We will conduct the draw at the end of the promotion, which runs from today, the 4th of April, to the 9th of May.
Also speaking at the promotion launching ceremony was Sinika Patterson, marketing assistant at the St. Vincent Brewery Limited, who said the company is partnering with various supermarkets to engage in the Vita Malt ring-off, which will give consumers the opportunity to have their groceries paid for.
We have also extended the promotion to further engage our consumers. Every week, the Vita Malt team will be randomly selecting days that we visit participating in supermarkets and conduct a Vita Malt ring-off. So how this works is that once you purchase a Vita Malt 4-pack and we see you with that 4-pack, we will then pay for your entire shopping that day. The promotion is geared to all our consumers as we seek to reward them while enjoying their favorite malt beverage, Vita Malt. This is a true demonstration of our tagline, Vita Malt takes care of you. The prizes are redeemable at the St. Vincent Brewery Limited, and the free Vita Malt can also be collected from any one of our sales trucks. The promotion will run from today, April 4th, to May 9th, 2017.